Well, hello, this is Rochelle, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I hope that you will subscribe and get notifications of future video uploads. I really have a lot of fun just being on here and trying out new techniques. And for today, I'm working on a kit by Ella Roetz, which is one of her kits that released on the 1st of May. It has beautiful labels that go with it and pattern paper that go with it, and I just loved working in this psalm and working with this kit, loving the colors, and yeah. So what I did is I took measurements of my blank page on or in my Psalter. So this is a ESV scripture journal for Psalms. It only has the Psalms in, and it has a blank page next to each written page or typed up page. So it's very much like the interleaved Bible, just with the Psalms. These scripture journals are available in all of the books of the Bible, including a full pack for the Old Testament and a full pack for the New Testament. I've just got the Psalm one, and I cut the pattern paper with my corner punch to suit the pattern of the rest of the paper, so that it looks like it's a part of the page. And I'm going to be adhering it with some double-sided tape. This is not the best quality double-sided tape. It's what I had on hand. Obviously, crafting is non-essential. So apparently I can't go and just pick up some red tacky tape or something like that. Anyways, besides that, I want to put this sentiment onto the page. So I need to knock down the background a little bit, and I'm doing that with dry brushing some sage colored acrylic paint onto the back or onto this pattern paper, so that I can have a space to write this on where it will stand out and not just disappear into the busy background. So like I said, I'm using, the color is Soft Sage. It's by Deco Art Americana, and I'm just using that to dry brush over the area where I want to have this sentiment, and I'm just cleaning my brush straight away. Acrylic paints do tend to clog up brushes a little bit, so you do want to clean that as soon as possible. So what I do then is I take a graphite pencil or an HB pencil, and I just go over the back of this printable. So there are easier ways to do this. You can print it on clear sticker paper and just stick it onto this, but obviously, again, I don't have clear sticker paper, so I'm making like a graphite trace paper with my normal white printed paper, giving it that graphite layer at the back with scribbling with my pencil, and then tracing it on the front with a pencil. I had this clutch pencil. I thought it would work because it has quite a thick lead, but in the end it didn't. So I'm just going back to my Faber-Castell Goldfaber pencil, HB pencil, and just tracing over that. Now it's going to leave a very faint graphite layer, which I can easily erase and work over, and it's not permanent or anything like that, so I can work on it without worrying if it's perfect, this tracing part. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my S-Nib Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen, and I'm going to go over these words to put them there. And then going back for the second round, I'm just going to thicken up the downstrokes and leave the upstrokes in a single layer. So the verse itself in Psalm 61 says, "Hear my cry, O God, listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I will call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, for you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy." So I'm really loving this psalm, and especially while working through the psalms as a whole during this time, I'm just so taken by how honest and real David was with God when he spoke to God. And in Ella Roetz's May digital kit or devotional kit, which is called Letters to God. She has us looking at the Psalms as well, and just really understanding and realizing how we can be that real with God. Look, I've got to be honest with you, my thoughts and feelings during this time of lockdown and being confined to home with the same people in your space the whole time. If you have someone in your space, if you don't, that's got its own challenges. So I've been very much trying to keep my heart happy, fighting things like depression and anxiety and those things. But reading the Psalms, I'm realizing how real God and David's relationship were, in that David went to God and not just always with nice thoughts. He went to God and he said, Lord, sometimes, I'm at the end of the earth and I'm calling to you when my heart is faint. And then that reassurance that God leads us to the rock that is higher than ourselves. Having written out the verse, I'm just cutting out some of these labels. Like I said, this kit is so jam-packed. You can make like full faith decks, cards, and just a lot of decorations. I'm not speeding up too much of the even cutting part because I am very much enjoying spending the time chatting with you to let you know, girlfriend or guy friend, if you're a guy watching the channel, that God is a rock for you at this time. He is our rock and our salvation. Whom will we fear? And I don't know about you guys, but at this time, I'm kind of fearing myself. I'm kind of fearing the dark places that my mind go to. I'm fearing that I won't be able to control my feelings or my outbursts or my anxiety. I'm fearing those things. So yes, I mean, obviously the world is in crisis and there are real everyday fears like how to pay the bills, etc., etc. But I definitely understand, for me, that my biggest challenge at this time is to keep my head on straight so that my heart doesn't go haywire with anxiety and fear. And so I want to encourage you today that if you're watching this video and you're reading this psalm with me, it says further in verse 4, "Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge under the shelter of your wings. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. Prolong the life of the king. May his years endure to all generations. May he be enthroned forever before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him. So will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day." Day after day, moment by moment, we need to come to the throne room of grace. We need to be real with God. I think, as with any problem, unless you can acknowledge that you have one, you can't start dealing with it. And so instead of coming before God with a fake sense of having it all together, come to God with the realness of your heart and the realness of your emotions. And then from there, let God turn it around to fulfill the vows or perform the vows, your vows, every day, day by day. Kind of just outlining some of these elements that I've stapled with my mini stapler onto the page, thinking about adding a few more things and deciding against it. I really love the simplicity of having this verse stand out. When my heart is faint within me, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Taking off the double-sided tape and sticking the page down and calling it a layout for today. I'm going to just underline or highlight with a aqua pencil the verses that I read, and that's that. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.